then here is the education, because they teach on that, on why, which is super important to know why you're taking something, why you're using something instead of just taking it. When people understand it, it's more likely for them to use it. But they're like, here, we have created this app, which is an incredible just one-stop shop app to track the food you're eating. If you have fat loss goals, if you have performance goals, if you have muscle gain, weight gain goals, it has Monday through Friday live education that you can go on and even listen back to the recordings. It has tons of amazing workouts, 8 to 12 week workouts for all fitness levels, no equipment at home, full-blown gym, running, core, all of it. Whether you're functional fitness, whether you're a bodybuilder, it actually has a great preparing for the outdoors training. I don't remember the title, but being able to experience the outdoors better, that style of training.
What's up, guys? Hope you are having a great one. Today, we have Homa, and she is going to help us understand why she decided to join Phorm Outdoors, how she applies that to all the different careers that she's had in her life, some pretty dangerous ones, high energy, and why, as she needs to perform, as she has overcome cancer. Guys, she's overcome cancer, and she walks us through all of these different stories today. Hope you enjoy this one. If you are tuning in here and you want to know more about Phorm, leave a comment down below. Send me a message over on Instagram. Share this story with others, maybe someone that is overcoming cancer or disease at this point right now and need some motivation, some help, and to know there's a light at the end of the tunnel that they can overcome and get everything done that they need to get done. So with that being said, tune into this episode, enjoy it. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. Let's get back to the conversation with Homa and why she's chosen Phorm and Phorm Outdoors, even more specifically, to be her community as she goes through life. Here we go. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the RedBeard Outdoors podcast. I'm Jonathan, your host, and today we have an outstanding guest for you guys. We have Homa. She is an awesome individual that loves all the shooty, pointy things out there. She loves to compete and crushes the competition, does amazing. But also, she is a coach when it comes into the Phorm side of things. She's a sponsored trainer. She will help you get dialed in on your nutrition. She has a team that she works with. We're going to dive into all those things, but I wanted to bring her on because she has been with Phorm since 2019. And since then, she has just continued to progress, gain knowledge, and share that knowledge with others as they aim for their fitness goals and their health goals to get better on a consistent basis. So this is the Phorm and why Phorm Outdoors edition of the podcast here. And I appreciate you hopping on, Homa.
What is going on?
Love it. I love it.
I'm going to be, like I said, your weirdest guest, maybe. That's what I'm aiming for.
Maybe up to this point, but like I said, I had a leather person on yesterday, and when that one comes out, that's going to be a interesting conversation. The internet also cut out right after we said some pretty interesting thing. We made a joke, and then her internet cut out, and I was like, well, that's a great way to end the podcast. But yeah, so Homa, for people that don't know who you are, who are you?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. I was really excited for this, especially when I get to chat and get to know people more, like you and Phorm Outdoor community. I even showered for it. I put on some perfume. I was super excited.
Now I should go put on a tie because I'm feeling feeling special.
Yeah. So thanks for having me. My name is Homa Schweers. That's my married name. Is Homa Shafi. I'm actually born and raised in Iran, Tehran. So I immigrated to America when I was 9, and I didn't speak any English at all. And growing up on my mom's side, my grandpa introduced me to the outdoors, the camping, the fishing, the hunting. He did rifle hunting, and he did recurve bow hunting as well. So I was exposed to that, from literally 1 to 9. And then my dad brought my sisters and I to America for a better opportunity. And when we came here, he had to work really, really hard, and to provide for us. So that kind of the whole outdoors thing was no longer there for me. So I know I was totally missing that. So when I became older, I made sure that I put myself back into everything outdoors, hiking, camping, hunting, and all that. I played college softball, and after college softball, I became a wildland firefighter for Cal Fire. I was a wildland firefighter for 4 years. Again, like just being in that nature and being in the outdoors and understanding how wicked it can be and what a force it is and what a space for just peace and tranquility at the same time, and everything it brought. From there, I actually transitioned into law enforcement, um, and became a CERT crisis response team operator and hostage negotiator. I did that for about 4 years on CERT Team 12 for state of California. And then actually got recruited into the private sector in executive protection, and been doing that since. Currently, I am a regional manager for a private security company in executive protection, and then on top of that, that's my little little career, and this is my passion, which is fitness, which is outdoors, which is shooting, and just like leveling up to be like the best human I can be, pretty much.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. You know, that's a lot for, as far as a career goes, and what you've done. You've obviously got a lot of experience in all those different industries, but something that, you point out is the tranquility of nature along with the force that it is. And anyone that's lived in a place that has any kind of weather event, which I think most of the U.S. does, you either have earthquakes or tornadoes or hurricanes or something going on. You realize how quick that can change. And being a firefighter, out in the wilderness doing that, I can only imagine, because the blazes that go on out there, some people can't even sit close to a fire pit, in their backyard, let alone having to go out there and fight these fires that are bigger than buildings. And like all of that, just that's a career that just blows my mind when people go into that and spend time doing that. So that's a lot on top of everything else that you've done with executive security and things like that. You've probably seen quite a bit when it comes to the world, and that's awesome that you've had those experiences. So with that being said, this is a passion of yours, working with Phorm Outdoors, being a trainer, a sponsored trainer for Phorm. That's an earned position. For people that don't know, there's different positions that you can earn in the company, and you get certain contracts for it or whatever it may be. But they're not just picking people out of nothing. You've earned it. Phorm doesn't just hand out participation trophies and titles. It's a company that you definitely earn everything that you have with the company. And so being a sponsored trainer is a big deal. That means that you've helped a certain amount of people accomplish goals that aren't just losing a pound or two. It's losing and maintaining, the weight that they wanted to lose, or gaining weight in some instances, helping people find nutrition as a healthy habit rather than something that they try and reject or don't even look at or take care of in their life. And so all of that to be said, how long have you been a trainer, a sponsored trainer with Phorm?
So I earned the spot last year. So January
Mhm.
last year is actually in Turkey, out of the country, and all of a sudden my phone blows up. I'm like, what's going on? And I got announced as sponsored trainer. So it's been a year of just pretty much setting like the next standard for myself. Because when
Mhm.
you earn a spot, it's like that's when it really begins.
Yeah.
It's not
Yep.
really the journey to, but when you get there, you're like, that's where the real work comes, and that's what you're really looking forward to, is that more responsibility that you have.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's awesome. So you were still doing your thing, and you found out about it. And it's funny because I hear like there's not a lot of I guess, lead up to it. You didn't know that was going to be announced. You didn't know that was going to happen. Something similar happened with Dale when he won the runner-up position in the Transformation Challenge, and then a spot on the pro staff. He had, he just submitted for it and had no idea, wasn't thinking about it. And I think it's cool that they do that there's not a lot of announcement to you personally for you to just prepare for it and get used to that. Like, it's just, here you go. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So
Well, what's funny
that's really
is
cool.
they have calls to make those announcements, and
Hmm.
literally, I don't know, I've been aiming for it for years. That was the
Yeah.
first call that I wasn't on ever, and that they announced me. Obviously, I was out of the country and trying to be in the moment, but I was like, it would happen when I
Hmm.
got on the call.
Hmm.
That
Oh
was, it
yeah.
was good.
That, that's awesome. So with that being said, you obviously have helped quite a few people with their nutrition. Do you have certifications to be that sponsored trainer?
Yes, so I am a certified nutritionist with precision nutrition. I am also a certified life coach. That's probably one of my favorite things to do. But I dove in. Actually, when I played college softball, I'm 39 now. I'm almost 40. Back in my college softball days, like we didn't know. Can we cuss on here?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Great. We didn't know shit from shit when it came from eating. And when I look back to, wow, like I wish I knew more then. And
Mm.
even from when I was 18 to 28, I actually battled with a 10-year eating disorder. And I was bulimic. And when it started, I didn't even know that it had started because I didn't even know what eating disorders were.
Mm-hmm.
And I battled till I was about 28, and that's when I really wanted to dig in and stop the cycle and educate myself on what does my body really need to,
Right.
one, break the cycle and fight, this what I would call, addiction or disease, and then thrive at that point because I was still competing in baseball. I transitioned from softball to baseball as I'm getting older and be able to perform better, as well as be able to experience the outdoors more, specifically hiking that I love to do in more rigorous terrains because that's what I
Mm-hmm.
was used to, with wildland firefighting. And I just love that challenge. So to not only break my bulimia and beat it, but also optimize my performance as I was getting older, so I can continue to compete and do it for as long as I possibly could. And that education was just it was a game changer for me, and I began by applying it to myself, and then slowly people that saw my transformation that believed in me gave me the opportunity to begin to help them. And really what it comes down to is just helping one person at a time and getting that experience from every individual, and you hope that you get a variety of people you can deal with so you can gain that experience for someone that is in their 60s versus
Mm-hmm.
20s, someone with PCOS versus someone that has performance goals, and an athlete, which, by the way, performance goals are my absolute favorite. But uh, but that was the begin of the struggle. Started with my own struggle that I wanted to figure out, and then it led into I really want to use the struggles that I have to help others um, uh, become the best fit version of themselves, pretty much. That leads to really the best version of themselves in all other aspects because you need to focus on your health first and above all, no matter what goals you have in your life. It
Right.
starts with how you're taking care of yourself. When you feel like crap, you're going to go about other endeavors half-assed and feeling like crap. And
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people, unfortunately, wait until they're in the shit of it to do something about their health. Or they're going through struggle. And what they do is say, I'm going to wait until I'm in a better situation to go after my health. Where when you're struggling most and when you're in the most chaos and under the most stress is when you need to take care of your body like the most. Not when
Mm-hmm.
everything's well, it's when everything's bad. You got to give your body the opportunity to cope better. And it starts with nutrition and movement and water and sleep and your foundation. Um, so yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely hear you on that. It's something that a lot of people, and that's in a lot of areas, and I'm guilty of it as well. You know, I'm I definitely understand when people get into it, like whether it be nutrition or finances or whatever it may be, when you get down that, you know, at your worst is when you start looking for help instead of, you know, asking for it when you start noticing the signs, or maybe you don't even notice the signs, whatever it may be, that keeps you from asking for help. But that's definitely something that can be difficult for a lot of people. So it's cool. I mean, it sucks that you went through that journey yourself, but also it, I'm sure, allows you to help people in those situations with those eating disorders. And uh, you know, I'm sure you've been able to help a lot of people with that because you've been through it yourself. You know how to get out of it and how to deal with that and manage it, so that, you know, because that's a lot of people have issues with either one, they don't want to track their nutrition just because it's an added step, it's something they have to do, and two, it could be just because it's a trigger for them and sets off their eating disorder, whatever it may be. And you've been able to find ways around that to make sure that you can do both. You can manage it and keep track of your nutrition to the point where you can have the results that you need, based on what, I mean, again, your executive protection and things like that require you to be in shape and at your best and at your clearest. And you can't necessarily do that if you're drunk all the time, or if you're, you know, having the sugar high, or if you're, you know, eating crap in you've got brain fog. You're not able to
Yeah.
be at your best when it comes to that. When you're firefighting, same thing. You got to be hydrated more so than most people. You've got to make sure, again, that your muscles are functioning correctly, that you've got your micronutrients dialed in and your electrolytes and all of that stuff, so you're not cramping up while you're trying to fight this fire. You know, you've been in a lot of high stress situations that people, again, don't think about their nutrition until they're in those positions, and they're like, well, crap, I could use with 10 pounds less fat, or maybe some more electrolytes, or some more protein, or whatever. You know, I could have used that 5 years ago. It's a little too late in the moment, you know.
Yeah. And even with that, you know, there was two other reasons where I had to take care of myself. One, like you mentioned with the fire and law enforcement, like I'm in a man's world.
Mm,
And specifically, for example, my CERT team, there was no test for women. It was one test, man or woman doesn't matter. You either live up to the standard or you don't. So I wanted to
mm,
make sure, like, it's not, a mystery that men are naturally, most of the time, stronger than women. It's just genetically that's the case most of the time. So I wanted to make sure that if I was joining one, not only was I hitting that standard, but above, where I am not the weakest link and no one has to, pick up my slack in any kind of way. I won't get into that whole world, because, like, this people's lives. It's not
mm,
like some glory, like, oh, I'm a SWAT operator. It's I am taking on trying to save people's lives, and that's what it's about. And I need to be my best self, and I can't slack in any way. Um, and be able to drag out my 200-pound, 250-pound partner if something happened. And same thing with fire. Now, the other aspect of it was my actually family history, and genetics, in regards to a history of cancer. And what I actually did was I did genetic testing. We have a big history of cancer in my family, and I did genetic testing when I was 32, 33 years old, and it actually came back positive for Lynch syndrome, which is like the genetic mutation in your blood that makes you more susceptible to colon and uterine cancers. So
mm,
once I did that, I was like, okay, I know, like my mom, my grandma, my aunts, my uncles literally have all had some sort of cancer. So I knew, like, it was probably inevitable, but if I took care of myself, I could tell if something's going on and could catch it early. Because if you
mm.
constantly feel like shit, you can't tell that you feel like that's just normal. It becomes normal.
Yep.
If you take care of yourself, then you start feeling like crap, that something's wrong. And, 2.5, 3 years ago, I faced exactly that. There was something wrong. And I actually did tests after tests, and it all came back like, you're totally fine. It's just your hormones changing. And I was like, no, I need to do more tests. And then finally came back. They're like, oh, you have a grade 3 cancer. We need uterine cancer. I got diagnosed with carcinosarcoma, which is a very rare and aggressive form of cancer, uterine cancer. And they immediately were like, we need to do a complete hysterectomy. Once we're in there, we can tell what stages it's at. We're going to do chemotherapy. We're going to do radiation anyways. And luckily, and they told me, hey, if this is a stage 3 or 4, your short lifespan's going to be pretty short. If it's 1C or less, 1B or less, you have a very good chance of fighting this. And the imaging before the surgery actually looked to be stage 3. But once they got in there, they actually noticed that it was like a flap that was protruding, and it wasn't necessarily like stuck to the walls, and ended up being stage 1B. And I caught it in time to be able to fight it and beat it, and went through hell and back. And here I am. A year ago, I was a bald potato. You can go on my Instagram and check out all the photos. I share my journey, because that's literally, I call it, without going into the extensive life journey and the hardships that I've gone through, but I call the gift of long suffering. You go through these journeys so you can help pick other people up along the way and say, I've been there, and jump in the pits with them. Not like, hey, I'm going to reach my hand down and grab you. It's no, I'm going to jump in that pit with you, and I'm going to show you and guide you on the way out, because there's hope. And ultimately, as much as throughout the cancer and the chemo, I felt like a shell of myself, and I struggled, and there were times I could barely even walk down the hall, but I got up and I walked down the hall, and I did what I could. And I continued to coach people through it. And I gave my Alpha Squad members no fucking excuses. They're like, Coach is getting up and walking after surgery. Fuck, I need to go out. I need to go get my shit done. And they showed up for me. I was so scared that they were going to leave because I didn't look the part anymore, and they didn't. You built a community, not only with my Alpha Squad, but with First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors, and specifically Jake, my coach, that was like, to hell you're quitting, like, let's go. So those were, without getting too lengthy, those were other two reasons, with not only being able to level up in a man's world and more, in terms of physical ability, but also make sure that I helped myself, through what I knew was coming, which was my battle with cancer.
Wow. That's crazy. I mean, again, you've been through so many different careers that are high stress. You didn't shy away from that. And like you're saying, you're in a man's world, because honestly, a lot of those jobs are men jobs, and you don't have to be a man to have the job, obviously, but it is just not attractive to the women out there to want to go and do, the firefighting and the executive protection and things along those lines. It's just naturally that way. And the fact that you've been able to go in there and kick butt while doing it, not just be the person that has to be carried around or the weak link or anything like that. You've gone in and been a leader in those positions. That's a big deal. And then on top of that, going through, and I love that you point out taking care of your body so that when something is wrong, to go get it checked out. Because I know, that's happened for me before, where I was kind of, feeling crappy and not taking care of myself, and didn't realize that certain things were not normal in my digestive system until, my throat basically closed up on me, my esophagus, and I had to go get that checked out. And they, through the surgery and everything they were doing, they found out that I have celiac, or they said, the way they said is to treat it like I've got celiac. So basically a pre-celiac, they started seeing the signs of it. And they were giving me the list of of symptoms. And I was like, oh, I thought that was just normal. Like, and so like what you're saying, where you took care of your body, you did the opposite. You were taking care of your body, and then you found out, because even though the doctors were saying everything's fine, the tests say you're fine, the tests say you're fine, 3 times, you were like, no, I know my body. And you're confident in that because you had been feeding it proper nutrition, had been taking care of it, been training, and you knew what you were capable of. And for that shift to happen, the fact that you were aware about it, more so than obviously your doctors that don't live in your body and probably see multiple people a day that don't take care of their bodies the way that you do. And they were just going through their routine, of the tests and trusting the results rather than trusting you. And so that's a big deal for people to understand. And so you were able to catch it, take care of it, and then share your journey, not shy away from that. And that strengthened your community even more so, because you were willing to put yourself out there, and the term's kind of been hijacked of being vulnerable, or in your safe space, but you really did. You were able to put out there your vulnerabilities and when you're at your weakest, and that's probably not very comfortable for someone who's in a high stress, high testosterone job. For you to put out your weaknesses like that, and to not come off as a victim, but someone that overcame those obstacles. All of those things that's outstanding. That's amazing. So with that being said, I want to talk a little bit about Alpha Squad, what the Alpha Squad is, and then we'll go into your top 3 reasons why you've chosen First Phorm to be your choice of communities to be a part of, when there's so many other opportunities out there. I get the question all the time, why not X company or this company? It's just a supplement company. And I love hearing from everyone's perspective why they've chosen, because I have my reasons, but why you, for example, have chosen First Phorm over any other company out there that you could be a part of during these journeys. So let's talk about Alpha Squad. What is the Alpha Squad?
So first, Alpha Squad wouldn't be Alpha Squad without First Phorm. They're the ones that laid the foundation and guided me to grow the community. So I'm actually going to talk about First Phorm first and how that started, because that's what started Alpha Squad. In 2019, I was actually looking for a gut health routine because of my my genetic mutation, specifically the colon cancer. So I was looking for a gut health routine. And back in college, I managed GNC. So I had tried literally every supplement under the sun. I know what to look for, how things are processed, what ingredients to look for. So I did extensive research and I found OptiGreens 50, the ingredients in there. It's organic. They didn't use artificial anything. They had 5 different blends of probiotics, of digestive enzymes, of a wheatgrass blend, a glycemic balance blend. And that just, I was like, this looks like an all around gut health routine that I need, that I don't have to take a bunch of different things. So let me try it. So I tried it for a couple weeks and I felt a noticeable difference right away. You do have to take it consistently. It's not from like a day or 2 you're taking it. It's about the compounding effects. After 2 weeks, I was like, okay, this is really good shit. Let me go ahead and look into their protein and realize that their protein are all low temperature processed. They use cross-flow ceramic filtration. And I was like, all right, let me try this one. Protein comes in, freaking tastes bomb. I'm like, this mixes well. It tastes good. All right. Like, I love their stuff. This is quality. And the biggest factor for me was because of genetic mutation and performance, I needed to fuel what was going in my body had to be high quality. What I'm ingesting needs to be high quality. In terms of nutrition, I use supplements to kind of optimize my nutrition and performance. I first choose whole foods. You should choose whole foods, minus post-workout. That's usually the only time whole foods is not optimal, but whole foods first. And I'm going to fill the nutrition gaps that I do have, because if we're really honest with ourselves, most people are vitamin deficient. I'm going to fill the nutrition gaps I do have with a quality supplement. So that was my goal. Optimize everything possible. Tried the OptiGreens, tried the protein. I'm like, this is the jam. Then um is when I started getting linked with the First Form community within social media, and they actually had an athlete search. They talked about their core values, loyalty, leading by example, going the extra mile, staying humble, being disciplined, accepting responsibility, taking initiative, building fun and positive relationships, always be learning, being selfless, being enthusiastic, and believing in yourself, right? And those were things that I'm like, that's me. That is what I want to use to do reflection of myself when I am not meeting up to the life and the standards that I want to live. And here's a group of people that are going to help you not only push you, but make sure that you're living up to that standard as well. They're there for you as a community. It's like great quality supplements, great, but they're truly there for you. And I didn't believe it until like a year and a half in, whole year and a half in, and when I began my cancer battle and realized how many people really showed up for me. Um, so I built the foundations of Alpha Squad off of the community and the foundations that I learned from First Form. Jake was the first person I talked to when I went after that elite athlete search, because I was like, those core values, that's me. Hey, what's up? I'm Homa. What's going on? I'm gonna get picked as at the cheesiest freaking videos. I'm doing pull-ups. Oh, look at me doing 10 pull-ups. Like, so stupid. And
Love
when I
it.
look back, and I began to build relationships with amazing people. Jake was one of my coaches. He's now my brother, and we've been through thick of thin of just everything in life. Um, and I loved when I heard he was building the First Form Outdoors community. I'm like, finally, like First Form needed this, because it's such a huge just opportunity to tap into that people need to be involved with. People need the outdoors. And they don't know it until they're out there and they experience it. So, I was without okay, let me backtrack. I get so excited about this. So with that, I built Alpha Squad. I'm like, I'm with you guys. Alpha Squad is a branch of First Form, and Alpha Squad is a community of individuals from all walks of life that are choosing to use their hardships to empower and fuel them forward to the best version of themselves. That is the Alpha Squad community. Like you said, there's no victims here. We can share our struggles. And what's great about a community is, sure, there is a coach and there's a leader within the community, but the people are who make the community. And if you're not fully connected with one person, you're going to find someone else that you're going to connect with, that you're going to
Right.
relate to more, that you're going to have that struggle with more. And so that is Alpha Squad, and it's me making sure that people know that there is a warrior in them, and that they could all stand up and fight for the life that they want to live.
I love it. I love it. That's outstanding. And that's awesome that, again, creating the community, that's a big thing that First Form harps on and talks about is, and they, I'm sure you've been asked this a couple of times, or you've heard the question posed, if First Form were to shut down today, what are you doing? Is First Form the only thing that you're doing? And if so, then you need to change that. And I don't know many communities or companies that would encourage that as much as First Form does, as far as the entrepreneurial spirit or even building your own community, because a lot of other companies would be scared that you're taking people away from them. And instead, First Form looks at it as, well, if you're getting better, we're getting better, and we want to be a part of that. We want to see you get better, but we don't want to be your whole identity. We want to be a part of it. And again, that strikes me as something that, people maybe on the outside don't understand that as much. they see First Form as another supplement company, and that's not really the case at all. There's so much more education behind it. There's so much more, again, the community behind it. And so you built Alpha Squad, which is awesome, and that's a cool. I mean, you look like the Avengers back there. I love it. You got the Avengers Alpha Squad going on,
Yeah.
which that's cool.
That was actually, I chose Alpha Squad because on my CERT team, we had Alpha Squad, Charlie Bravo, and Charlie Squad, and I was on Alpha Squad. So I want to take a piece of that team and that camaraderie that I cherished and build another team with that.
That's amazing. Yeah. So we've got that community, and we will link that down below. So if you want to go check out Homa's Alpha Squad community, we'll put that in the description here on this video. But also, so you mentioned, you've mentioned a couple things, and I assume what your top 3 are going to be based on the comments that you've already made about First Form. But tell us specifically, give us the list, your top 3 reasons why you've chosen First Form and First Phorm Outdoors after that came a thing for you as your community of choice and company of choice to pair up with your journey through everything that you've been through.
Yeah. So First Phorm Outdoors and First Form, number one is they are who they say they are. They are genuine individuals that are truly trying to make a change and difference in this world. They're truly trying to help build just you as an individual in whatever path you're going on in life, to get there and live up to that full potential. So they're genuine characteristics, and the fact that they do live their mission. They're not just full of smoke and saying it. They live it every day, their core values, and they show it. And they show up for you when you need it. And that's within First Phorm Outdoors and First Form, both one and the same. You just get to experience more of the amazing outdoors within that group. And even within, we're talking about more of the outdoors realm and people within the First Phorm Outdoors. Look, it's kind of like what I said before. You're going in there, and we all want to have a sense of belonging. We want to be seen. We want to be heard. We want to be understood. We want to be surrounded by people that can see us and hear us and isn't just about them. And that when we are struggling, that they're going to be there for you and willing to help you. And what's great about the community is that you can connect with so many different people all over the nation and just grow yourself as an individual, because you don't just have hunters. You have fishermen, you have shooters, you have campers, you have hikers. And I truly believe in just being a well-rounded, versatile human being. And that's what allows you to have is all of it. And not only that, but they are going to, so number 2, I would say, is they're going to make sure that if you say this is what I want to do, that they pick you up and say, you need to, this is what you said you were going to do. This is the standard you want for yourself. They're going to hold you accountable to get there. That's the community and the friends that you want, not the ones that blow smoke and say, oh yeah, that's great. They're the ones that are like, hey, you're falling behind. Get up. You need to get your shit together. That should really be the number one reason why I love it, is because they don't let you settle. And I don't want to settle. I don't want to settle for mediocrity. No one should. And it's you don't want to be left at the end of your life looking back with regret of, I didn't see what my full potential was. So those really are, the third is probably entangled in that explanation that I just gave.
I love it. Yep. That's awesome. And yeah, that's I couldn't agree with you more that the community, I mean, we talk about community a lot, and then of course the quality of products you hit on as well. Some people
Oh
come
yeah,
in.
the best energy drinks on the planet. Just wanted to say that. This is like
Exactly.
this is the shit, man.
Yep. We got mine right here. So,
As you can see, I'm
uh,
actually sweating. I'm like, I'm gonna go run some
yeah,
laps after this. I'm kind of excited.
right, right.
I'm actually
The,
in the middle of 75 hard, so I'm in day 20 something. So right after this, it's freaking pouring rain out right now. So it's a perfect time for me to drink this and go out and get a nice shower outside. Excited.
That's awesome. So with the, some people come in for the community, some people come in because, like you said, you tried the products and you had done research and those products came up, OptiGreens, being the first one that you tried. And um, you know, it, it's something that we don't talk about enough as well, that I want to hit on with the products and the community, because this ties in hand, is how they back up their products. And so, there's the 110% money back guarantee. I also don't know of any other company that backs their products that well. Like, they back their products, but not 110% money back guarantee on their products. And the reason I try and highlight that is just simply because a lot of places you're not going to be able to find First Form in store. There are some places where you can, but people have that, like, they want to, touch it, feel it, taste it before they're bought in on something.
Right.
And so for people out there that are maybe nervous about trying it, on the fence, whatever, that is something that I highly recommend, because, and it's not just something that we put out there, it's legitimately, you will get a response from customer service, even on weekends, which blows my mind. But you will get a response normally within 24 hours, if not 48 hours. And it will be a variety. They'll give you options. Do you want to return it? Do you want a different flavor? Do you want, like, and even if it's just the flavor that you don't like, that's fine. We know it's just like with, like, you're into firearms, or knives, whatever it may be. If you're not comfortable carrying it, you're not going to carry it. If you're not comfortable tasting the nutrition, the food, the protein, you're not going to eat it. You're not going to use it. And
Yep.
that's not what we want. We don't want to be a pantry princess. We want it to be used, and for you to test out the products. And so that's why it's such a big deal that even if you don't like the flavor, don't feel stupid emailing and saying, hey, I thought maybe blueberry muffin would taste a little bit better. It doesn't hit that for me. So can I try this one instead?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, 100%. And they, hands down, First Form has the best customer service I've ever experienced. There is just no doubt about that. And coming from me, coming from all of my clients, hands down, the best customer service, an example of all companies. They should really like contact First Form and ask them, how do you guys do it?
mhm.
Because if you're not taking care of your customers are everything. And you need to treat them as if how you'd want to be treated, and that's exactly what they do. In terms of the quality of their supplements, like you mentioned, they have that confidence to give that 110% guaranteed. But not just because they literally do have one of the top qualities, if not the best quality supplements, but they have provided a tool for
Mm,
people to actually get the fitness results they're looking for.
yep.
It's not just here, take these supplements. It's like, yes, these supplements are great to fill your nutrition gaps. And here is the education, because they teach on that, on why, which is super important to know why you're taking something, why you're using something instead of just taking it. When people understand it, it's more likely for them to use it. But they're like, here, we have created this app, which is an incredible, just one stop shop app that you get to track the food you're eating, where it
Hmm.
calculates those numbers for you, whatever that is, based on your height, your weight. If you have fat loss goals, if you have performance goals, if you have muscle gain, weight gain goals, it calculates it for you. It has Monday through Friday live education that you can go on and even listen back to the recordings. It has tons of amazing workouts, 8 to 12 week workouts for all fitness levels, no equipment at home, full blown
Hmm.
gym, running, core, all of it. Whether you're functional fitness, whether you're a bodybuilder, It actually has a great preparing for the outdoors training. I don't know exactly, I don't remember the title, but being able to experience the outdoors better, that style of training. Um, and then there's motivation and stuff in there too. But the biggest feature in there was having an actual live coach. Like, I don't know any other app that doesn't cost tons of money that's going to provide you a live coach that you are in communication and in chat with, that's going to help guide you to it. So they're not like, here, take some supplements. It's like, no, here's a tool so we make sure that you can succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And in turn, when you try our supplements and see that it is good quality, you can then learn what gaps do you have in your nutrition to pick those supplements to fill them
Yep.
with. That's invaluable, having that sort of support and having that sort of kindness. And that's probably the biggest differential that I see from them and other supplement companies. I don't know any other supplement company that has that. And just $12 a month,
Yeah.
$12.99 a month for all of that and a live coach. Like, there's no way. And that's why they truly care. If they didn't really care, that app wouldn't have been created. And that app is a tool that I use to coach my people, because, like I said, it has everything. It keeps everything organized. All of our all their pictures, all their weigh-ins, it's all in one
Mm-hmm.
spot. People don't have to be confused going to some sort of app workout and then going to another app to track their macros and then communicating with me through another platform. Makes it easy, and it's invaluable. So that's probably my favorite part of First Form.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with you more. It's an amazing tool, and the opportunity that you have to go in and have a live coach. Like, I just challenge people, just the coaching alone, go and find a personal trainer that is nutrition certified for $13 a month.
Yeah.
Go do it. Even online, where they do the cookie cutter, you send them your weight and your preferences, and they send you back a cookie cutter program. Even
Yep.
that, I challenge you to find that for $13 a month. It's not happening. It's just
Yeah.
absolutely not happening. And so that's definitely a big tool as well for them. So we'll add that as a little bonus there for your number 4 with First Form. But
Mhm.
if people are wanting to, I guess the last thing that I want to hit on, you've got a little cute little box there behind you. You want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
So
This
Homa came up with an idea to go with the Alpha Squad called the Chill Brigade, and I wanted to break that down for you guys because you might find this valuable as far as a product that you'll use to help you with your nutrition goals.
Yeah. So I was actually, this is how it happened. I ran out of collagen,
Mm.
and I was going through my pantry to find like old Ziploc bags that if I had any leftover collagen in there when I travel with it. And I busted out this crusty ass, like, crystallized. I'm like, what is this? I'm smelling it. I'm like, I don't know what this is. And I'm like, why have we not come up with a
Yeah,
better way to travel with our supplements? And
I can just picture you and you're like acting like a crackhead in the pantry, just like digging through stuff.
with my
Oh
freaking
nope, that's not
Eskimo
good.
robe.
Like, yeah, what's this? Oh
Exactly.
man. I think this is collagen. Nah. Nope, that's baby powder. Hold up.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So I was like, you know what? Let me start drawing. So I started drawing up a little, like, how would I carry my powder? So no, actually I did a little Amazon thing. And I looked on
Hmm,
Amazon, is there anything out there that can help me carry both my powder supplements and my pill form supplements?
hmm,
Looked it up, nothing. You have your pill boxes, and then you have like individual containers that hold maybe 1 to 2 scoops of protein, but nothing like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days if you're traveling or if you're going into office or you're going out camping or anything like that. I'm like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna create it. And it began one way, ended up a whole different way. It's crazy where it goes, but I essentially created the Chill Brigade,
Hmm.
which is a multi-purpose bag. And this is meant to, one, be a badass freaking high quality cool bag. But this is meant for people to be able to just make their life easier,
Hmm.
make their life organized, stop excuses in their tracks, essentially, because a lot of people talk about being on the move, traveling, not having enough time, not be able to take their meals with them, not be able to take their supplements with them,
Hmm.
and build this bag for anyone, whether they're a fisherman, whether they are in law enforcement and going to the range, whether they're a mom, as a diaper bag, as a meal prep bag, as a gym bag, because it's not just a bag, it's also a cooler. So I actually use this mainly in the range with me, but I use it as my range bag, and also the top and bottom compartment has cooler capabilities. It has a great little patch spot for the front and back that you can put literally whatever logo for whatever team you're on, as well. But the two kind of features that it comes in that's great is the top compartment actually comes with this modular, uh, essentially you could use it as a tackle box and your pill box, and it literally holds all my foundational supplements, 7 days worth. And it comes with this. You can put your protein powders and all that stuff in there. And then the bottom compartment, which I won't go into, I won't open. I actually have
Hmm.
these here. Comes with these three. Let me move this out of the way. Comes with these three snap top silicone grab bags that are food grade that hold each 7 scoops of protein. And they literally just sit just easily, conveniently. They're leak proof. And I can even put my scoop in there. And I can write with a dry erase marker what's on this, and it wipes off with a wet paper towel.
So
So it
no more putting your finger in and testing it. Like,
no my finger and testing it, no more like crystallizing, and no more like doing tons of different silicone or tons of different Ziploc bags, because this has 7 scoops each. It has a week's worth and you get 3 of them. So it just puts all excuses when it comes to supplements and meal prep out the window. I got my mom's using this in diaper bags. Um, it's just meant to be used as a tool uh, to go after whatever you're doing, whatever endeavor you're going after, and taking it with you. I call it like the shield and the sword. It's like you're part of the brigade. You're picking up. You're going to war with life. That's kind of like what I'm imagining it.
love it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. And you forgot to show the EDC pouch. No kidding. No, that's awesome. I'm surprised you didn't break out like a break apart AR, just like pop that out. Oh yeah, and by the way.
Yeah. Well, I
But
know because
no,
I have it usually with me, like right.
mhm.
I keep
Yeah,
it. I
there you
keep it
go.
right next to me when I'm
There
at
you
home.
go.
It doesn't need to be in the bag, but that
Yeah.
actually that gives me a really good idea about the AR portion of it. But anyways, all
Hmm.
right. So yeah, that's my Chill Brigade.
It's her Mary Poppins bag, the Chill Brigade.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love it. I love it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you.
So, where can people find that if they are wanting or interested in the Chill Brigade? Obviously, we're going to leave the link down below for the Alpha Squad as well. But where
Yeah.
can people find the Chill Brigade, and where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, obviously on Facebook as well, but I'm more on Instagram. There is links in my Instagram that lead you to my free roster, where you can join the Alpha Squad roster for free. It takes you through steps 1 through 6, and getting on all the platforms and getting in the app with me, and leading you to the Facebook community. It also then gives you the links to my favorite supplements that I use. And when you do sign up for the free roster, you actually get a welcome guide that teaches you, talks to you about my favorite supplements and why they are important for fitness goals, and literally for any fitness goals. So it gives a really good explanation of how it ties into your goals as well.
Mm.
So you could read on that. And then within that link, there's also my Chill Brigade. So you could find the Chill Brigade link in my Instagram page, as well as the Alpha Squad Homa Co. a website within the shop. So yep, that's where you can find it.
Sweet. I love it. Okay, we'll leave the links for that down below, guys, where you can find Homa, where you can find Alpha Squad, the Chill Brigade, and definitely want to go take advantage of that. If you don't already have a way to carry your supplements, this is the best option available for all the reasons we just pointed out there. And you can save the environment by not throwing away so many plastic bags. So
That's true.
don't look like a crackhead in your pantry and go grab the Chill Brigade. With that being said, thanks so much, Homa. I really appreciate you hopping on and explaining your story. I mean, we touched on the surface level, not going way into detail on it, but you've been through a lot, you've experienced a lot, you've overcome a lot, and you're still aiming to help people grow and to live the best lives that they possibly can. You're a shining example of that, and I appreciate you sharing your story and, of course, your top 3 reasons why you've chosen First Phorm to be your partner in this journey called life, that you're just aiming to get better every single day. So that being said, thanks so much for coming on, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to leave all the links down below where you can check everything out, and of course get into the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group. We want to see you over there. It's consistently growing. We're over 6,000 members strong now at this point, and it's just heading to the moon. So make sure you head over there, get to know some people. We've got everyone in there, from fishing to camping to hiking, biking, guns, archery. You're not going to get banned for talking about pointy, shooty things. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it. All right, guys, there's a wrap with Homa. Hopefully you enjoyed this conversation. She's such an awesome individual, has such a great story, so many things to share, so much we can learn from her, and hope you grabbed the golden nuggets that are in this one. With that being said, guys, go check out her pages, links down below if you're interested in joining her group, the Alpha Squad, if you're interested in the Chill Brigade, all of those things, I'll leave those down below. On top of that, guys, over on the social media platforms, my page has been banned, so I can't reach people who are non-followers. Unfortunately, I didn't think that was possible, but apparently knives can cause issues. So with that being said, if you want this message to get out, share this podcast. I really appreciate it. If you're on the audio only, share it. If you're on the video, subscribe to the channel and share the YouTube channel with others so we can continue to have this grow and I can keep having great guests on like Homa and so many others. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. If you're in the market for any gear, outdoors gear, First Phorm supplements, health and nutrition, all of those things, check out the links down below. Shoot me a message, email, drop a comment, whatever it may be. Have a great one. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it.